בקרוב תזרח השמש, נדע ימים יפים מאלה, הלב נלחם בדאגות. כולם יחזרו הביתה, נחכה להם למטה, הלוואי נדע בשורות טובות. כי עם הנצח לעולם לא מפחד, אפילו כשקשה לראות. כולם ביחד, אף אחד פה לא בודד, שישרפו המלחמות. עם ישראל חי, אם לא נשכח תמיד להיות מאוחדים. עם ישראל חי, בעליות בירידות, גם בשעות הכי קשות. הקדוש ברוך הוא שומר עלינו, אז מי יכול עלינו? כי אין לנו עוד מדינה. תעשה שלום בינינו, שמור על ילדינו, כי לא אבדה האמונה. עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי. עם ישראל חי. אור ארצי נחלתנו, לא תיפול כעת רוחנו, מסביב ברזל של חרבות. ויונה תפרוס כנפיים, התקווה בת שנות 2000, עוד נצא לשיר ברחובות. כי עם הנצח לעולם לא מפחד, אפילו כשקשה לראות. כולם ביחד, אף אחד פה לא בודד, שישרפו המלחמות. עם ישראל חי, אם לא נשכח תמיד להיות מאוחדים. עם ישראל חי, בעליות בירידות, גם בשעות הכי קשות. הקדוש ברוך הוא שומר עלינו, אז מי יכול עלינו? כי אין לנו עוד מדינה. תעשה שלום בינינו, שמור על ילדינו, כי לא אבדה האמונה. הקדוש ברוך הוא שומר עלינו, אז מי יכול עלינו? כי אין לנו עוד מדינה. תעשה שלום בינינו, שמור על ילדינו, כי לא אבדה האמונה. עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי. כי עם ישראל חי.
Shalom, shalom, folks. Shabbat shalom, Shavuot. May God bless you. God be with you. How you guys are doing today? Today is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday, obviously. So getting ready to go to work. I may not be going to go to work tomorrow because I got to do some work. I will take care of that first. Probably I'll be going on Tuesday to work. That's the reason I thought that I can record one video, and so that I can finish the whole series of what we are talking about, the first century Christianity, all this time. So I want to wrap it up, the conclusion thought of these 4 or 5, at least four series of this first century Christianity. Let us dive into this one, and let us carefully go through this and complete this one. Once again, this is a painful situation, because to tell the truth or not, to tell it out, yes or no, because it's going to hurt somebody. Definitely, it's going to hurt somebody. There is no, what I can say, there is no doubt in it, because as long as if you are in a belief system for such a long time, years and years and decades, and now all of a sudden, if you hear this type of information, definitely will create a lot of tension and pain, and hate and so many things. So, which I don't want to do it personally, but there is no other go. I got to inform and I got to complete my mission to this earth, and I have to finish up my race. So at least I could able to realize that at the end of my times, at least I am here to tell you, you know, so that you can listen, you can take it or not take it. It's up to you. But this is the only truth available right now on this planet, as long as I have searched, as long as I've been through, and there are so many other people would say definitely or would agree on what I'm saying, and the members or numbers are increasing day by day. People are getting out of so many other religions, Christianity including. So that's why I'm giving you, especially, I'm focusing basically on the Indian community, so that you guys understand, you will understand what I'm talking. Situations may be there for you guys not to get out of your, system, but hey, you know what? This is what it is. Take it, and it's going to be bitter, painful, but that's what it is. All right. Having said that disclaimer, let's dive into this, the first century Christianity, what we saw all this time. Definitely, in the beginning, I showed you guys some of the Greek gods and Greek goddesses, and I told you that also, there are gods always, there are kings respected in the Greek culture as gods. These gods were connected to heavens and earth, and that there are multiple gods for each and every aspect of human or humanity, and there was a god, or there is a god still, I'm not sure, in Greek culture. So the gods were like a human being and also the heavenly bodies. So it's already a concept was there, lingering there in the world, especially the Greco-Roman world. So people were, into a lot of confusion, and sometimes, the Roman rules, and they were all very tight. And when they were in the confusion and they were in the dilemma, so they wanted to look for something else. So Jewish God was something like a treasure for them, because only one God to worship, and then there are laws, that the laws will be taught, well, laws are taught to them. And even though there was certain difficult laws, but they loved that one temple, one worship, one Torah, one word, and also about, like the procedure, everything. They were enjoying it, and also they had had a Sabbath day. That's important for the Gentiles, because in Roman ruling, there was no vacation or no holiday or no weekend. All through 7 days or continuous working day. There was no weekend days in the Roman ruling. So when they saw the Jewish people were having one day resting day, that's I mean, almost again, it more. Increase their interest towards Judaism, and people were joining into Judaism. This was one of the other reason that Rome was so angry on Jewish people, giving a lot of tariffs, meaning the law, the taxation. So the taxation was so high, and which was, we could not even able to discuss it. So taxation was so high, and the idol worship and the, atrocities were inside the temple and outside the temple were increasing day after day, day after day. And the images, even this huge big eagle image was kept outside the Jerusalem temple. So many atrocities were continuously pouring into Jerusalem and Jerusalem temple. So this was the situation where, Jesus comes in, and I already told you yesterday, Jesus did not, and it was so difficult for the Jewish people to accept if anybody calls him as a human being. That was really tough for them, because I mean, any human being called as a god, because there was a rabbi called Ramban, and when he was supposed to have debate between the Christians, and it was always given factor that Jewish rabbis usually normally they don't go into debates because of course if you're going to debate before a Christian king and a Christian audience and a Christian debater, obviously the outcome is that you know that you're going to lose the game. But once you lose the game, what's going to be next step? Next step is going to be punishment. So rabbis were avoiding everything, but there was a rabbi called Ramban. He couldn't able to avoid that one, so he had to contest this one. So he was contested. The king promised him, and he said that the king James, I believe, he told him that do not worry, contest this one, and come for the debate, talk to you whatever you feel like, you just do your job, and I would not give any punishment for you, I would not kill you or anything. So after getting the promise from the king and Rambon, and he went to the debate. Fortunately, unfortunately, he won the debate, but the Christianity didn't accept him. They didn't accept that, and the matter went up to the Jewish, a Christian Pope in the Rome, and Rome had to deal with the King James, and the King James, he couldn't able to, what do you call, save any more Rabbi Ramban. So he paid some money to him, asked him to leave the country immediately. Rabbi Ramban came back to Israel, and with that money, he built a synagogue in Jerusalem. It's still there in Jerusalem. The oldest synagogue, very small one, is still there. People go there next to the, very close to that yeshiva, meaning the school of Israel, school of Torah school. So near to that, so it is still there. People go there and worship there. The bottom line, what I'm saying is that the Christianity, when grew up there, this is how that people were attracted from one religion to other religion, because one religion was having a lot of tensions, a lot of gods, and they don't know where to go, what to do, and there was no answers for so many questions. So they saw the Judaism, they were jumping to Judaism. Now Paul pictures in, remember, none of the writers of the New Testament, none of them was never been with Jesus, never saw Jesus, and even including Apostle Paul, no one. So the writers of the New Testament are nowhere near closer to Jesus at all. Jesus wasn't there at the time, or they never knew because these gospels were not written by the disciples. They just named it as a disciple's name, but none of them wrote those books, and so no one was there to see what happened. It was all hearsay that they were writing, and also Paul, he never seen Jesus either. Even he never mentions anything about the he never mentions anything about the destruction of temple. He never, because he should have been there at the time, right? He never mentioned that. He never mentions about Jesus' birth, or he never mentions about Jesus' death. And even when he went to Jerusalem, he never visited the birthplace of Jesus. Would anyone, obviously, if your leader is been if you wanted to know about your leader, you would definitely go and look into where he was born, where he was, everything. Paul never gives any account of all these things at all, not at all, none, right? So here on the other end, when um, when in the Jesus time period, Jesus was also declaring himself. Most of the time, he was declaring himself like a zealot. I didn't come to complete the one place he said, I came to destroy the commandments. The other place said, I came to complete the commandments. I brought the sword with me. Like so many times he reminds as a zealot. Okay, zealots are so fearful, and it's like RSS people. They were acting. Judas was one of the zealots at the time. So almost like 24 groups of Jewish people were there, hanging around at the time of the first century. So all were expecting Messiah, and every group developed one Messiah. There was a lot of pretenders as Messiah, and these messiahs came in, and they did see the miracles. Whatever that Jesus did wasn't counting as a Messiah. That's not a qualification. Miracles, what he did wasn't a qualification to be a Messiah. Okay, so Jesus never claimed as a Messiah, and he never, like, completely fulfilled all the messianic or Messiah, the protocols for Messiah. Never did that one. That was the biggest thing that that Jesus was going there. And again, Paul, um, when he writes I already discussed about so many things yesterday. When Paul writes his apostle of Acts, I mean, like, it was not written by Paul anyways. It was written by Luke. That's what they say. And Luke was not Luke. Someone else was written the book, right? So when Paul was so confused because Paul could not take the information to the Jews, because what Paul's idea was, okay, let's go now. Okay, people are there, their longing, their thirst to get into one kind of a true religion or true God, and they're already moving towards Judaism. And Paul comes in and says that, Gentiles, you don't have to worry about the other 613 laws of Jewish people. It's so going to tough, but that's for Jewish people to fulfill. For you guys, no need. Jesus took all your sins on him. All you have to do is basically 10 commandments. See, these 10 commandments was already there in other religions, other country beliefs, like Greek or Roman country beliefs. They're already having these common laws, like, do not lie, do not kill. This already there. So it wasn't tough for Gentiles when he transferred from his religion or Greek religion to Christianity, because he was already observing certain laws with them. So Paul was trying to design this one into a small thing, saying that one, Jesus was the Messiah. Jesus was the Son of God. As I told yesterday, when you say Son of God, Gentile word is so big. In other word, it was not that much big, because that's why Paul was kicked out. Why are bringing the Son of God thing? But we know who is, we're all Son of God. That's the Jewish people's argument, right? So when Paul was trying to do his the things, he himself, for so many places, were confusing because he was kicked out from the Christian Jewish community, and the only option he had was to take it to Gentiles. So there is no other option for Paul to just to keep quiet. So he had to take it out to Gentiles. That's why he took it to Gentiles. So in order to make them believe this one, because Christianity is a blind belief or blind faith. That's what it is. So they don't know anything about Jewish system or Judaism or Jewish culture or anything. So it was easy for Paul to tell them the way that he wanted. But if he could tell these things, same thing, to Jewish community, they will not accept it, because they know more than Paul, because they were from the beginning. So Paul cannot, he couldn't tell anything to Jewish people. He was kicked out, and he was with the Gentiles, and he was developing all these things. That's how we are seeing already all the the development in the Christianity, how it went through all over the world. Now it's going to be a big faithful religion under the sun, folks. The problem here is, like, what I'm saying, like, you can say, brother, whatever it is, we all are worshiping one God everywhere we go. Okay, fine, there is one God, but Christianity, by having this three God system, of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, this one makes Judaism faith or Judaism belief into zero, ground zero, because that means they are basically, uh, pagan worshipping. That's what basically is like. What do you call the? Um, yeah, basically that's what I say. It's kind of idol worshipping or something. That's what I would say. That category comes in, but Jewish people would never ever will accept that one, because if you say that one, the Creator of heaven and earth, he resorted himself 9 months into Jewish woman, and he was given, he came as an infant, and he was grew, and he was beaten up into these people, and the soldiers, and given his life, and and died on the cross to forgive these Gentiles, and then going back again to heavens. This is an unacceptable concept for any Jewish people. They cannot take this one because you cannot make a God into a human. It never said in the Bible. It's nowhere closer. You cannot even think of it. Because in the Old Testament, God very often says that your thoughts are not my thoughts. Your ways are not my ways. I'm not a human, I'm not a man to think like you. God registers this into several places in Deuteronomy or Jeremiah, Isaiah, or Kings, wherever you just name it. Everywhere God repeatedly registered that he cannot become a human being because it's obvious. It's very obvious, folks. You cannot bring a finite or infinite God to a finite body system. You cannot fit in there because God is infinite. When the God is infinite, you are trying to fit inside a finite box. That means you're going to limit everything. There's nothing like that in the previous world. So Jewish people would never ever buy this concept what Paul was bringing to them. So he was kicked out, and then Paul took it no other go because Gentile people, the only people they could believe because they don't know anything about that one. So they had to believe, and they believed it, and then it passed on all the way through us. And right now we are so blindly believing, and Christianity and moved. I was there for 30 years there. I'm not telling I haven't been to Christianity. Yes, I was there in each and every sector of Christianity. That's why, folks, these are the final days we are here, and like the prophecies said, our prophets told or prophesied in the Old Testament, maybe Joel or Nehemiah or Micah. So what happened here is like on the final days. On the final days, what's going to happen? The knowledge of God will be, completely, all across this earth, like an ocean, like a water in the ocean, like how the waters on the ocean filling the oceans. Likewise, God's knowledge will be filling the whole earth. Right now, it's happening, folks. It's happening right now. Everyone, are coming into the complete, lightness of the God's knowledge. They know, Christianity and Islam, according to God's perspective, probably, they spread the word of God, or they spread important thing about God because they spread about concept of God, Torah, the commandments, and all these, afterlife, and heavens and earth. So these concepts are already taken to all over across the world for all these people. So that's what the job was done by Islam and Christianity. God used these two wings to get this knowledge crossed across. But right now, it's in more depth as you grow in Torah, as the time comes up, as the time is about to finish. We are on the 5,784, and then 6,000 years. Probably so many things could happen right now. We are moving towards that condition. AI, artificial intelligence, is now taking over everywhere in anything possible. So it's going to be a tough situations in coming future, folks. God's knowledge is still there. Everything was written already. How it's possible in Torah? Everything you talk about astrology, you talk about the space, you talk about anything. How it happened? The Torah was having. I mean, is having every information in it. It's unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. That's why I'm encouraging you. If the God is there, as I understood, there is only one God and there is no other God. God registers this one to Moses as the number one commandment. I am the God. I am the only God. Oh, there is no other God than me. You should not be worshiping him, or you should not bowing, you should not serving the other gods. So, as we see that one exactly happening, and we see that Israel went through all those prophecies it was told by all the prophets. So we need to at least give some years. You may hate me, you may not like me, you can do anything, or you don't want to see me at all. That's all fine. I'm just giving you a call today to tell you guys, go and read and study the Bible and try to understand what God is telling exactly. I have poured out a lot of information in how the first century Christianity was created and how it has been spread and what was the reason. Everything I poured in out. So if you wanted to have any questions, let me know and talk to me. We can talk and I can answer you. Definitely, you will learn a lot of things. Okay. All right, guys. With this, I think it's better to stop here and to close this, podcast today. And I think we closed the first century Christianity. And let's see the other topic. And I'll come back with a big one. And until then, Shabbat Shalom, Shavua Tov. May God bless you. God be with you. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה